Howdy folks, this is Travis of Elliston Equine Solutions down here at the Clopton Cow Company. Once again to give you an excellent presentation on a fantastic topic. You might be wondering, well, what's the topic today? Well, let me tell you, it deals with the hackamore. So we had a lot of questions how to do a tie wrap around the Bosal using a Mecate. So how do you tie Mecate onto the Bosal to make a hackamore system? That's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways, and I'll continue with more tie wraps around the Bosal. Okay? Now, there's a couple things I want to mention first. These are definitely come in different sizes, and what I mean is by all the way from the nose band all the way to the heel knot, there's different lengths. Okay? And the reason I bring that up is because you're going to have different style of ties going on your Mecate onto the Bosal. All right, in the cowboy world, you might just, because we don't get paid a lot, we might do a trade bag trade for a Bosal, and it might be longer than the nozzle of my horse, so I might have to do a couple more wraps around there. Perfect world, yes, I would measure everything perfectly right here and go purchase expensive, high-made, high strength, high artistic work of the Bosal, but in reality that doesn't happen a whole lot. Okay, we don't have deep pockets when you're cowboying. Okay, so this one, speaking of which being high grade, high quality, and I like a lot, this is Blackie's. He made this, and I bought this, I don't know, about three years ago, I think. Bought it from him. Met Blackie a long time ago in Georgia for a roping event that was getting done for raising money for a clinician that family had cancer. Okay, so we're raising money, big loop roping and stuff. Okay, so we had Frank Dominguez there, Bill Black was there, everybody affectionately calls him Blackie, and Scott Stokes were there, and I was there and a few others. And that's when I first met Blackie. Anyhow, I jumped forward, went to the Art of the Cowgirl, and I purchased this from him. I always wanted a piece of his work, and yeah, that's it. So anyhow, I'm getting tired of the jawbone, so I'm going to move on. So I'm going to have different classes on the hackamore and the diameters of them and so forth. The biggest thing is to know once again, from the nose band to the heel knot. A smaller horse, pony size, they're pretty much right around 10 inches. Okay, medium-sized horse right around 11 inches. And then a bigger horse is around 12 inches from here to here. Okay, that's general rule of thumb. Obviously, there's plus and minuses. Okay, you might have a jug head that's literally a big head on a small body horse. So that rule doesn't always stick. So then you got to go into the formula, which in this channel later on we'll probably talk about. Okay, getting back to the original theory of tying a tie wrap on it using Mecate. Mecates, check out my channel, I talk about them, but they come in different lengths. A normal 20 foot to 22 foot are normally used to tie your snaffle bit and slaughter straps onto the snaffle bit. Tying wraps on a Bosal, you want to use generally around a 22 to 24 foot in length. Okay, I generally like the 24 foot in length Mecates. So diameters of Mecates, and you check that out because that's part of my Mecate video that I have posted, and I'll put it on here for the link. Okay, all right, so no further ado, what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about how to tie one of these on. Okay, now back in 2022, I believe, when I was down in Missouri, I actually ran across Dennis Reese. Dennis Reese is the one that showed me how to do this tie. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rope, drop it on the ground, and I'm going to take this part right here, the knot, the opposite end from the end with the popper, and I always hold my Bosals with the tie to the left, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Kristen come up here and go around my shoulders, so she's going to act like you're looking over my shoulders, because just like you tie it. Okay, I am right-handed. Okay, so everything's be tied right-handed. I take the knot and I place it, and this one has a block in it. You can see it right there, so it spreads a little bit better. But I will stick it right down in front of the heel knot, okay, just like this. Some folks like to put it back here on all their ties so it's not touching the whiskers, this portion right here, and agitating them, okay, with this fly tassel swinging back and forth. Okay, but in this representation, I'm going to show you the traditional way. So I just place right in between here. I'll go ahead and wrap counterclockwise once, twice, and I can go around 3 times if I want. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take and reach through the Bosal, grab my rope and feed it through. Okay, just like so. Generally, if I don't have a horse, I'm going to spread it all the way out 2 arm lengths like this, okay? If I have a horse, I'm going to set the Bosal noseband right on top of the horn, place it down until it drops down to the passion bone joint right there, okay? That generally gives you the right distance that you need for where your hands are going to be, and plus a loop right where this joint is right here. Okay, so that's just a general rule of thumb, okay, for the proper distance. All right, so once again, I have my reins fixed. What I'm going to do is take the lead rope portion of it, the get down rope, I'm going to create a crossing bar, just like this. Okay. Now I have my locking bar in position. I have both my reins coming out this way. Now I can come to flip it over, and I'm going to bring out these 2 loops, okay? So now I have this here, 1, 2, 3 wraps, and I have these little eyeballs. I'm going to pull the eyeballs out. The reason I'm pulling these eyeballs out, because that's where I'm going to run the popper end of my get down rope through. So I'm going to puncture both eyeballs. Okay, so if you can look, we're just going to take it through here, take it through here, and I'm going to puncture both eyeballs. And then I'm going to tighten my reins back up. Okay. Now, you'll see I have a set of reins here. And I have my get down rope on the same side that I'm tied on to the horse's head, okay? And you'll know that you tied this correctly because you'll see the front looks like this. All right? So I'm going to bring the camera lady back over here. And you'll see that you have 1, 2, 3. The 4th one coming in right through the eyeballs, okay? And I know it's done correctly. It looks exactly the same, okay? And I got my lead rope going off to the left, which is final check with the same side. I have my strap right here, okay? My tie strap to be able to tie my Bosal on. If you look to the back, I'm going to flip it so you know what it looks like from the back end. You'll see you have 1 lock bar over top. You have the reins, and I have different wraps. Now remember, if you have a lot of space here, and this isn't correctly fitting, because I got a whole bunch of space here, I only want a little bit, I might have to create more wraps here, and then bring the reins up here to close the distance between the distance of the bottom of the jaw line there to where the top of my ropes are, okay? So that's one thing you got to play with. Now this is the one I probably use the most. I like it a lot. For the simple fact is, I can release and it goes down really quickly. Okay, there's a big drop there of a release. Okay, so that's a nice one to have. I really like it. It's really simple. I've used it probably since 2022. Like I said, Dennis Reese, thank you for teaching me this a long time ago. So anyhow, 21 years ago, Dennis Reese taught me this, and I appreciate him doing that. And I just wanted to share you a way to get down. Now don't get bent over the axle, folks, about it. If you're taught only this way is the only way to tie it, believe me, there's 9 different ways to skin a cat. Well, guess what? In the hackamore world, there's a million ways to tie this thing on here, and none of them are wrong, okay? You tie to fit the application that you need that's presented to you, okay? So that is the golden rule right there. Another thing I could talk about on this, for a fact, is if I got a hanger, some people call it tie strap. I got my hanger, I got my Bosal, and I got my Mecate, okay, right here. You put that all together, that's called a hackamore. All right, just want to make that clear. Some regions will call this the Bosal. That's incorrect, okay? Now, overall, if you know what the heck you guys are talking about in that region, well, you guys are communicating, so I guess you're all right there. But I'm just telling you the general rules of thumb here. It's important to know exactly what terminology is. If I separate the Mecate from this is the Bosal, okay? And this one specifically is a 5/8, okay? It's been used, you can see that's a wear mark in there, but that's one way to tie it. So I call that, obviously Dennis Reese lives in California, so you learned the California style right there. And so I call that the Dennis Reese tie. Now, number 2 tie, I call that the John Sharp tie. This one's pretty handy too, I like it a lot. And I'm going to do the same thing, it's just another way of getting the job done. This one has a lot of wraps too. So once again, I'm going to make sure that the hanger, the tie portion of the tie strap is on the left side. I'm going to bend all over. I'm going to take the ball end, the opposite from the popper end, put it right between the spacer, that spacer right there in between each branch of the Bosal. Instead of going up, I'm going to go underneath this portion right here. Underneath it first, okay? Then I'm going to go around counterclockwise once, twice, and 3 times. I'm going to reach through. I'm going to grab and produce my reins. Pull my reins through. Remember, you got the horse method and you have this method. Once you tie it each time to put on horse, generally you'll know exactly what the length is that you need for your specific horse, okay? Even if you got string horses, you'll get them memorized. Remember, that stuff's just a general rule of thumb. So now I'm right here, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 wraps behind. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I have 3 wraps. I'm going to go around this branch right here, and I am going to find the end of my rope. It's got the popper, my lead rope. I'm going to come through, and I'm going to go underneath these 2 strands with the popper, and I'm going to feed it through. And I'm doing this slow enough where everybody can kind of see it, okay? I'm going to tighten up everything a little bit. I don't want it so tight that this closes up hard. Okay, now I'm going to split it where it's in between the 2 reins. I'm going to take my strap. I'm going to go over top of these 2 bars right here. And I'm going to go underneath these 2 right here. So I'm just going to pull it apart. I'm going to take my popper portion through it and come out the front end with it. And then I'm just going to adjust everything. This one's actually a pretty cool one that I like a lot too. For different, this one, obviously, if a person has too long of one of these, some people want them long too for the simple case is they put more wraps on it and they have a faster release, okay? And I'm not one to judge them, but that's why some people like a lot of wraps, okay? But what I'm getting at's pretty cool about this is we'll talk about our checks, okay? I got my reins right here. I have my get down rope right between them. And if I go to the front now, and you can see, I actually have the get down rope going in between the two eyeballs, okay? And what's nice about this is whatever direction I'm going, because it's middle, I can move it different direction and it still has balance on the center line of the Bosal, okay? And that's why this one was designed the application, okay? The final checks to know that I've done this correctly is I have 2 strands on the front now. Remember this front, 2 strands above the knot here, right here. Then I got my 2 eyeballs and 2 wraps above it. I flip it to the other side, and remember, it's 3 wraps, your reins, and then it's going to be 3 wraps again. Okay, so totally I'll add 1 more wrap on the back side than you do the front side. So that's how you tie the John Sharp style of tie for a tie wrap, hackamore wrap. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to show you if you have a proper fitted Bosal, or just like them a little bit smaller. I'll show you a quick wrap on this. Blackie taught me this one. I believe I was in Bozeman, Art of the Cowgirl up there, and I've seen him several times. And he had a couple of college students there wanting to buy one of his Bosals, and they're looking at it, so he demonstrated all of us how to tie this tie. So I'm just going to do the same thing, return the favor, and show you folks, okay? I believe knowledge is power, and knowledge gives people what? Gives them a skill set. That's what this whole channel is about, is to give you the solution to become the knowledge, okay? So this one's real simple. All you're going to do is take this end. Most of the time this is a crown knot or Turk's head. That's the finish off. I'm going to make sure that the hanger, the tie strap's right here, I'm facing straight down. I'm going to place it right in there. I'm going to go around once, all the way around, okay? And you can see, all the way around once. I'm going to come through, reach through the Bosal, pull, guess what? Yeah, same game, same bat time, same bat channel. The old Batman TV show of doing my reins, okay? Now, roll check, trick is, make sure that these are twisted the right way. So all you gotta do is twist this way, undo to make sure that your reins are straight, okay? Now, once I'm here at this position, all I'm gonna do, I'm right here, I'm gonna take my get down rope, and all I'm gonna do is create an X, like this, okay? Actually, all I'm going to do is do an X like this, okay? And all I'm making is a hooey knot, or as some people call, once again, I'm going to rotate my knuckles up, face the knuckles down. I have this right here. A hooey knot is nothing more than a half hitch. So I'm going to take the half hitch, go over top everything, lock it down into place. Okay. Now, you're going to know that you've done it correctly because you have this down below. You have your reins. You have a locking bar. And you got your lead rope out, or get down rope to the left. I flip it to the front side. It should look like this. I should have one locking bar, the 2 eyeballs, and another locking bar, which goes to your get down rope. This one, once again, is one of the simplest, one of the least amount of Mecate that you need to tie a hackamore, okay? That one's real simple, and I'll have more demonstrations on how to tie these the more we go along, okay? Alrighty, so we're coming towards the end of the video, and I just want to talk about storage of the hackamore. Yeah, this is very important, especially if you live in wet, hot, humid areas. Always take off the Mecate from the Bosal, okay? Disassemble the hackamore system. And so what I like to do is most of the time, 90% of the time, 10% of the time, I get tired or forget or whatever excuse. You can make up one for me. I don't take them off, so you better slap my hand right now for not doing that, okay? Generally, you want to untie them the whole time, okay, to make sure that you don't get no curlies going inside your Mecate, okay? This one isn't bad at all because I've done a pretty good job of disassembling everything. Another thing is, if you leave this tied on, what's going to happen is that the branches of the Bosal are going to twist on you. They're going to move one direction or the other, okay? Or it's going to shape where the nose bands push this way and this is bent back, okay? So I never like to have these tools left on. When I am storing my Mecates, I like to store them in big loops, okay? So I'll go ahead and I twist, and I like big loops as possible when I go ahead and stick it inside the saddle house, tack room, whatever I have, horse trailer, stock trailer, and I'll just put it wide on a band like this, okay? And I'll give different class on how I store the Bosal, okay? Or the pencil Bosals or pencilitos, some people call them, okay? We'll get a different class on that later, all right? So that's that. I hope that helps you out on this channel. I hope everybody's doing great. Sorry I've been gone, not producing a lot of videos, but I was up in Germany teaching horsemanship. Did 2 clinics up in Germany, up in the Black Forest. Beautiful country, and I appreciate all the hosts up there, the Varns. They really helped me out up there. Beautiful people, excellent people. And also liked the Sundown Ranch, the fine folks there. Just extremely nice people up there. And I just wanted to throw a shout out to them and that outfit for helping me out for going up there and teaching. A lot of people learned a lot of good stuff, and it was fantastic. So once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, the Elliston Equine Solutions and the Clopton Cow Company. Getting back on point on this, you have the knowledge now to become a solution. Take care now. Until next time, adios.